Imagine this, you're vibing to one of the most iconic hip-hop tracks of all time, Shook Ones Pt.II by Mobb Deep. The beat drops, the lyrics hit hard, and you're transported to the gritty streets of Queensbridge. But wait, what if I told you that there's more to this track than meets the ear? What if I told you that Havoc, one half of Mobb Deep, might have pulled a fast one on us about the sample used in the song? Yeah, you heard me right. The making of the infamous. Okay, so back in the early 90s, Mobb Deep dropped their debut album, Juvenile Hell. Now, it had some solid tracks, but it didn't quite hit the big time. Now, they were feeling a bit disappointed, you know? But instead of giving up, they decided to double down and come back even stronger. Now, here's where Havoc steps up big time. Now, he took on the main producer role for the infamous. They were like, alright, if we're gonna make it big, we gotta do it our way. And let me tell you, they was determined as ever. They wanted to leave a mark in the rap game, and they weren't gonna let anything stop them. So with Havoc leading the charge on the beats and both him and Prodigy bringing their A-game on the mic, they went all in to create something special. Now they knew they had to step it up from Juvenile Hell, and man, did they ever, with the emergence of Shook Ones Pt.II. The emergence of Shook Ones Pt.II. Alright, so picture this, Mobb Deep's in the studio, cooking up some heat for their sophomore album, The Infamous. Now they wanted a track that would really capture the gritty vibe in New York City streets. You know, that hardcore rap sound that was big in the mid-90s. Now that's where Shook Ones Pt.II comes into play. Now Havoc, with his genius on the beats, crafted this dark, ominous instrumental that just sets the perfect backdrop for Prodigy and Havoc's raw lyrics. It's like they bolted up the essence of Queensbridge and poured it onto his track. Now let me tell you, when Shook Ones Pt.II dropped, it was like a bomb went off in the rap game. It became an instant classic and set the standard for hardcore rap tracks. When this track hit the streets, people just couldn't get enough of it. It was like nothing else out there at the time. The grimy beat, the menacing lyrics, it was like the perfect storm of rap greatness. Now critics was singing his praises, fans were bumping it non-stop, and it quickly became Mobb Deep's signature track. I mean, just think about it, man. Like, it wasn't just a song to a lot of people, it was a statement. It showed the world that Mobb Deep was all about and solidified their place in hip-hop history. But all that came with some major controversy. The sample controversy. For years, hip-hop heads have been wondering about that iconic hi-hat sound in the beginning of Shook Ones Pt.II. Well, Havoc dropped a bombshell when it revealed the truth behind it. Now, people were shook, just to say the least. But hold up, before you start picturing Havoc cooking up beats in the kitchen, let's set the record straight. Turns out the truth ain't quite as spicy as the stove story. Now, many believe that the sound of the track came from a burner stove. Alright, yeah, you heard that right. But Havoc admitted that while the hi-hat does sound similar to a stove, it wasn't actually sampled from one. I mean, you heard it here first. It's just a coincidence that got blown out of proportion. But I mean, hey, that's hip-hop for you. Full of surprises and myths to keep us guessing on our toes. Like, even with the music video, right? The video features Prodigy and Havoc rapping around Queensbridge at different times of the day. Now, they're seen in various spots, with Prodigy even rapping while cruising in a car. Havoc reminisces about the shoot, saying everybody was pumped as the song was blowing up. Now, they filmed the whole thing in Queensbridge, giving it that raw, real vibe. And Havoc's favorite part? When they rocked those Hennessy jerseys. But staying awake during the shoot? Man, that was tough. They filmed non-stop from dawn till 7 a.m. the next day. And here's a fun fact. While filming, Mobb Deep ended up in a scuffle with a dude who wanted more screen time. Drama on set, am I right? Revisiting the infamous. Now, when we talk about the infamous, we're talking about more than just an album. We're talking about a cultural phenomenon. I mean, this thing dropped back in '95 and instantly shook up the rap game. It was like a breath of fresh air and a genre that was hungry for something real. And not only that, but Shook Ones Pt.II isn't just any old rap track. It's basically the king of hip-hop beats. Rock the Bells went all in, gathering a group of music gurus to hash out which rap instrumental reigns supreme. And guess what? They crowned Shook Ones Pt.II as numero uno. I mean, it beat out some serious competition like Dre's Still D.R.E. and A Tribe Called Quest's Electric Relaxation. Now Havoc, one half of Mobb Deep and the brains behind the beat, was over the moon about the whole thing. He was all like, hey, I remember making this jam with Prodigy back in the Queensbridge projects, just trying to let our voices be heard. And now, bam! It's the top dog of the hip-hop beats. Havoc gave a shout out to all the fans and even remembered his partner in rhyme, Prodigy, who's sadly no longer with us. Now it's crazy how these beats from the 90s still hit so hard today, right? Makes you kinda wanna bump them on repeat forever. But now let's hear it straight from the source, man. Let's hear it from Havoc himself. When asked about the creative process behind the infamous, he had a lot to say. He talked about how they poured their hearts and souls into every track, how they wanted to capture the essence of Queensbridge and put it on wax for the world to hear. And you know what's really special, man? Havoc opened up about what the 25th anniversary means to him. He talked about how proud he is of what they accomplished with the infamous, how it stood the test of time, and how it's still influencing artists today. It's like a validation of all their hard work and dedication. The 1994 infamous sessions. So think of it like this. You're chilling, bumping the infamous like you do on any regular day, when suddenly you hear about these bonus tracks from the 1994 sessions. I mean, it's like finding buried treasure, dog. Now these bonus tracks, they ain't just some throwaways, they're like a window into Mobb Deep's creative process. Now you get to see how they crafted their sound, experimented with different beats, and laid down some raw rhymes that didn't make it into the final album. It's honestly like getting a backstage pass to the making of the infamous. See, for Havoc, it's all about giving the fans what they want. Now he knows that die-hard Mobb Deep fans have been craving more material from the 94 sessions, and he wanted to deliver like it's a way of saying thank you to the fans for their support over the years. And let me tell you, the reception among fans has been nothing short of amazing. People are loving these bonus tracks, soaking up every bit of that classic Mobb Deep sound. It's like rediscovering a lost treasure and realizing just how valuable it actually really is. Prodigy's legacy and the album's celebration. Now, we can't be talking about Mobb Deep and not take a second to appreciate everything that Prodigy did in his lifetime. Not only did he help put out 8 studio albums for Mobb Deep, I mean, the man also had 5 solo albums on top of that. The dude left behind a lot of fans and had a lot of important messages. And one of the most important ones that got fans going was his theory on the Illuminati. Now, I ain't gonna get super hard into it, but all you gotta do is just look at a couple of his tracks and you can see the meaning in the messages there. Now, at the time of his death back in 2017, dude was legit working on a musical about all of his theories about the Illuminati. And there are certain fans, man, certain skeptics to think that the Illuminati done did him in before he could finish it and reveal their secrets to the world. Now, whether he was onto something serious or it's just fun for him, you still cannot deny the impact that the man had on the rap game. So even though he wasn't around for the album celebration, we carry a little piece of Prodigy with all of us. Because today, to this day, that beat still hits hard, and it's still cherished, and it's still loved. Which brings us to the end for the day, folks. So if you liked the video, then don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from the world of hip-hop and beyond. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'll catch you next time.